Okay.
I can also just,
Okay.
or you could do it like,
Sure.
Welcome, everyone. We begin our ceremony by acknowledging that we gather today on the land of the past and present Quinnipiac people. It is with deep gratitude that we honor the land, people, history, and traditions of the indigenous peoples who stewarded this land for generations and who are still connected to this land, as well as the responsibility that comes with sharing this land. We acknowledge the painful history, and with our mission at Yale School of Nursing of better health for all, embrace our commitment to health justice, caring for all communities, especially those who suffer unacceptable health disparities. You may be seated. And now I would like to begin the 96th commencement of the Yale School of Nursing. This is a real moment. It really is. In perhaps too many ways, you all have experienced unprecedented times during your years here. On this day of celebration, I wish the news was completely better. The U.S. recently surpassed 1 million COVID-19 deaths, a grim milestone. We opened the front pages a few weeks ago to read a leaked draft of a Supreme Court opinion that would overturn Roe v. Wade and upend reproductive health care in this country. Let me assure you that the nurses, and especially the midwives here today, know what that means for our patients, their families, and communities. And it is with a heavy heart that I extend our condolences to everyone affected by the recent shooting in Buffalo, New York, an abhorrent act of terrorism carried out by a white supremacist, specifically targeting Black people in a Black neighborhood. As any psych nurse will tell you, collective trauma leaves a lasting mark. Before we celebrate everything that our graduates have achieved today, I ask us all to share a moment of silence to remember those we have lost. Thank you, everyone. As every class does, the class of 22 has left its mark on our school. We were founded in 1923, and so your graduation today falls in the final year of our first century. And even against the backdrop of the heaviness we've just acknowledged, our graduates have also experienced the lightness of joy during their years at YSN. Our PhD students can tell you the satisfaction of a successful defense and the congratulatory handshake that accompanies an advisor's proud summation of "Congratulations, Doctor." Our PhD graduates also know that the best dissertation is a done dissertation. As an addition to our strong Doctor of Nursing practice program, we are delighted to welcome the first class of the clinical DNP program this year. We are so proud of the incredibly high standard you've set for the next classes, and we welcome the contributions you will make as doctors of nursing practice for patients and entire health systems. The adult gerontology acute care program graduates are now prepared to manage patients with coexisting multimorbidities and perform myriad assessments to help prioritize their care based on a patient's goals. Our adult gero primary care graduates love the opportunity to learn intubations, chest tube insertions, and central line placements. They also became all-stars in dealing with life-threatening bleeding, learning to initiate massive transfusion protocols, and saving lives with their quick thinking and teamwork. I have it on good authority that the family nurse practitioners you see here today loved learning suturing, chest x-ray interpretation, and of course, incision and drainage. In the women's health specialty, students learned to perform expert and sensitive pelvic exams. That expertise is so valuable to every patient waiting to learn more about their health and options. Our pediatric specialty graduates savored completing a HEADS assessment, successfully examining the ears of a squirmy sick child, and respectfully but confidently explaining to the parent of a teen why it's important for them to leave during that part of the visit. Psychiatric mental health NPs will recall making it through the mental status exam, the equivalent of the physical exam that most NPs perform. It is extremely complex, including elements such as attention, orientation, mood, cognition, executive function, and memory. Learning how to distinguish amongst the various presentations by patients at different points in the lifespan can be very nuanced and subtle. And we know that mental health across that lifespan is crucial, and that there is much unmet need for this care in our country. And then, of course, we have the midwives, who will tell you that there's no feeling quite like welcoming new life into the world and catching your first baby. Of course, your learning happened not only in the classroom or the sim lab, but on the floors, in exam rooms, in community settings, and with your peers. We appreciate your dedicated faculty, generous preceptors, and each other, as you all have developed your superpowers as APRNs and leaders. Nurses and midwives will tell you, we've seen pandemics before. And some of your guests might remember an incredible victory in 1980 when smallpox was declared eradicated worldwide. This was an extraordinary feat over a viral disease that is older than recorded human history. That success was only possible through scientific advancement, international collaboration, and the persistence of providers and researchers working with patients every day. You are those tenacious providers today. Yale nurses and midwives have done what few other Yale students can. For those in the audience who may not know, more than 100 YSN students staff the mass vaccinations clinic at the Payne Whitney Gym, which many of you may have seen earlier today on Old Campus. More than 30 YSN students staff the campus COVID resources line, which at times fielded more than 4,000 nervous phone calls in a week. COVID will always define your early clinical career, but the nurses and midwives here today will also come to define care beyond COVID. Through your care, your expanding clinical expertise, your research and leadership, through your persistence. When the call came, you answered. We're proud of you, and we all want you to care for yourselves, now and always. So as we prepare to send another class of Yale nurses into the world, we also acknowledge their faculty, including Annie Goodrich Professor and former Dean of the school, Dr. Margaret Gray, who is retiring this year. In addition to serving as the 9th Dean of the school, Dr. Gray also held an appointment as Professor of Pediatrics and served as a Deputy Director of the Yale Center for Clinical Investigation. She came to YSN in 1994 as the Independence Foundation Professor of Nursing and Associate Dean for Research and Doctoral Studies. A YSN graduate, pediatric nurse practitioner, and behavioral scientist, Dr. Gray's research has focused on improving self-management in youth with diabetes and the study of psychoeducational interventions that improve both metabolic control of diabetes and quality of life in young people and their parents. During her tenure as dean, Dr. Gray shepherded the school's move from Church Street South to our beautiful home here in West Campus. YSN is the first and only full school on the campus, and when YSN arrived, Provost Scott Strobel, who was vice president of West Campus at the time, said, "West Campus reached its tipping point on the day that the School of Nursing arrived on West Campus in 2013. That was the day when West Campus was clearly going to work." Dr. Gray's accolades are many. She's the author of over 400 journal articles, chapters, and abstracts, and has received numerous regional, national, and international honors for her research. She was elected to the National Academy of Medicine in 2005 and the Sigma Theta Tau International Nurse Researcher Hall of Fame in 2014. She's the recipient of the Richard Rubin Award for Outstanding Contributions to Behavioral Medicine from the American Diabetes Association, the Pathfinder Award from the Friends of the National Institute of Nursing Research, Outstanding Nurse Scientist Award from the Council for the Advancement of Nursing Science, among many others. She was elected to the American Academy of Nursing in 1990. Dr. Gray was also honored this morning on Old Campus when she was chosen to walk in the grand procession for the university as the senior marshal. This invitation from Secretary Kim Goff-Cruz is reserved for a distinguished retiring faculty member. Dr. Gray continues that celebration of that special commendation this afternoon and is not with us at the moment, but we are extraordinarily grateful for everything Dr. Gray has taught us. She leaves an indelible mark on her students, fellow faculty, and our school. We wish her all the very best in this well-deserved next chapter. I'd also like to recognize a special group of students who helped usher us into our festivities this morning on Old Campus and this afternoon during our procession. These graduates were nominated and chosen because of their exceptional leadership, scholarship, and community work. Our 2022 banner bearer is Valerie Williams. And our student marshals are Marcus Shepard, representing the MSN program, and Mel Costurco, representing the DMP program. Additionally, we recognize a faculty member who exhibits outstanding teaching skills, serves as a role model, and displays excellence in nursing education to serve as our faculty marshal. The 2022 faculty marshal is Nicole Neischick. Congratulations and thank you for representing YSN. So it is now a great pleasure to introduce our esteemed commencement speaker, Admiral Rachel L. Levine, the 17th Assistant Secretary for Health for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, and the head of the U.S. Public Health Service Commissioned Corps. She fights every day to improve the health and well-being of all Americans. She's working to help our nation overcome the COVID-19 pandemic and build a stronger foundation for a healthier future, one in which every American can attain their full health potential. Admiral Levine was looking forward to joining us in person today, but due to unforeseen responsibilities with the World Health Organization, she's instead sharing a pre-recorded address. She's in Geneva today.
It is my pleasure to join the Yale School of Nursing to congratulate the graduating class of 2022. This is a very special occasion in your lives, and I am truly honored to be speaking with you this afternoon. To all of today's graduates, congratulations on taking this important step in your lives. You certainly made a wise decision by coming here to Yale, and I'm sure you received an outstanding education. COVID-19 tested many of your skills early on, especially one skill that you will always need: adaptability. This pandemic thrust the importance of medicine, nursing, and public health into the spotlight. We have seen the dedication of our entire medical workforce throughout this pandemic, with the significant role that nurses have played being front and center. I commend all of the Yale School of Nursing students who stepped up to administer vaccines and staff the university's COVID-19 resource hotline. Now, one of the biggest lessons of this experience for all of you as nurses is to remember your own physical and mental health. Realize when you need a break and when you're giving perhaps too much of yourself. You can only help others if you are healthy too. Now, your time here has given you knowledge, and the application of that knowledge will come through the use of the essential skills that you have learned. But you have received other lessons here as well that you will need throughout your lives. You have learned the need for compassion and sensitivity, for empathy and concern for your family and your friends, for your colleagues, your patients, and yourselves, as well as the need for patience, for curiosity, and for flexibility. You have learned the need to be calm and confident, and the ability to innovate and to expect the unexpected. The American writer, teacher, and philosopher Joseph Campbell wrote, "Fear, uncertainty, and discomfort are your compasses towards growth. You must let go of the life that we had planned so as to accept the life that is waiting for us." I want to talk a little bit about my history to explain that quote. I went to Harvard College and then the Tulane School of Medicine. At that time, I absolutely never would have thought that I would be the Assistant Secretary for Health and a 4-star admiral leading the United States Public Health Service Commissioned Corps. I was concentrating on learning the basics of medicine and how to diagnose and treat illnesses, and I was drawn to pediatrics. Now, every experience, whether it seems big or small, will add valuable life lessons for you. Following medical school, I trained at Mount Sinai in New York City in pediatrics and adolescent medicine. Now, of course, I was confident that I could tackle the small task of eliminating all of the ailments of the children and teenagers of New York City. Not that I was an idealist in any way. I realized it would take more than 1 year, that it might take all 5 years of my training to accomplish that. So I guess remember to have patience and to set realistic goals. Now, while I might not have eliminated all the ailments for the children of New York, I did make a difference to individual children, individual adolescents, and their families. On the days that you get frustrated with our medical and public health system, and there will be a few, please remember the ways in which your work improves people's lives and even saves people's lives. In 1993, I left New York City. I went to the Penn State College of Medicine and the Penn State Hershey Medical Center, where I started and ran the adolescent medicine program and an eating disorder program. Now, as you might know, I am also an openly transgender woman. I transitioned more than a decade ago. The fantastic Office of Diversity at Penn State Hershey had a non-discrimination policy that included sexual orientation as well as gender identity and expression. So I was not just tolerated or even accepted there, I was really truly welcomed for the diversity that I brought to the campus. I strongly feel that diversity, in all of its myriad and wonderful aspects, should be welcomed and celebrated for the way that it strengthens and enhances any organization. Now, my life then took another turn. I was minding my business, well ensconced in academic medicine, seeing patients, running my program, teaching students, when I got a phone call asking me to co-chair the Transition Committee for Health for Governor-elect Wolf of Pennsylvania. I agreed to serve as the co-chair, but I made sure to tell them I'm not giving up my day job. Now remember the quote, "We must let go of the life that we had planned." During that process, I became intrigued by the work that they were doing, especially the work in terms of public health and population health. And the next thing I knew, I was offered the position of the Physician General of Pennsylvania, and then over a number of years, I became the Secretary of Health of Pennsylvania. Once COVID-19 hit, that certainly became my most urgent and primary focus. Now, I am a positive and optimistic person, and I believe that when we work together, we can use the lessons that we have learned to make better systems moving forward. We can improve our approach to everything from COVID-19 to mental health, to substance use disorders and overdoses, health equity, climate change, and more. In January 2021, I received a text about 10, 11 o'clock from the Biden transition team actually asking if I would be interested in a position. Didn't get much sleep that night. So I spoke the next morning with the transition team, who asked me if I would be interested in the position of the Assistant Secretary for Health. Well, yes, and now I stand before you as the Assistant Secretary for Health, a position I never imagined that I would hold, and certainly the honor of my lifetime. I wake up every day with the mission of helping people, and this role lets me help people across the nation by helping to set public health policy. Now, among my duties, I am the leader of the United States Public Health Service Commission Corps. As America's health responders, public health service officers are the first in line to defend our nation's public health against threats large and small. Our medical, nursing, health, and engineering professionals fight disease, conduct research, and care for patients in underserved communities across the nation and throughout the world. Now, for those of you still deciding on a career path, I encourage you to learn more about this amazing group of uniformed nurses, doctors, and other medical and public health professionals who have a desire to protect our nation's health and serve those most in need. To sum it up, my recommendation is to think big, to plan big. Have big goals for your career, and know that life may take many different turns and send you on many unexpected paths. I am confident that your education here at the Yale School of Nursing prepared you for all of the expected and unexpected roads that you'll travel. And please keep your idealism. It will be shaped and tested by your life experiences, but don't lose your idealism. So I offer my enthusiastic congratulations to today's graduates. The education that you each received during your time here, both in and outside of the classroom, has prepared you well for personal and professional success. I ask every graduate to use the excellent education that you have received to work towards the common good. With hard work and intense focus, your class will usher in a brighter future for our nation and the world. Congratulations. You are starting on a remarkable journey, and I have complete faith confidence in you. Thank you.
Well, we really thank Admiral Levine for sharing those thoughtful remarks with our class of 2022 and also for creating the first climate change and health office in the federal government. Those are wise words. We must let go of the life we had planned. Timely and important words to meditate on as you look back on your time here at Yale and as you look forward to your next set of adventures. The student address is a prestigious honor, and we thank everyone who submitted remarks for consideration this year. The 2022 student address speaks powerfully and specifically to the YSN experience over the past few years. Please welcome family nurse practitioner student Rachel Romero.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Rachel Romero. It is my honor to be speaking on behalf of the Yale School of Nursing 2022 graduating cohort. We are a group of unique, compassionate, driven individuals. No one narrative can adequately sum up our collective experience, but I will try my best, drawing on the lessons I've learned from you all and the memories we've shared over the last few years. Thank you everyone for being here today to celebrate this very special day that marks the beginning and continuation of a significant chapter in our lives. I know many people traveled far and wide to be here today, and even if this is in your own backyard, we welcome you. It's true what they say. It really does take a village. And as I look out into the crowd, I can see everyone's perspective village. I see family members, friends, partners, children, grandparents, and everyone in between. I have always felt that meeting someone's inner circle provides context and a deeper understanding of and appreciation for who someone is, and I feel that that rings especially true today. I know I speak for everyone when I say we would not be here without you all, our family. You have been our lifeline, support system, and our why throughout this process and beyond. Thank you for loving and believing in each past, present, and future version of ourselves, even when we may have not shown ourselves the same kindness. We also want to thank you for all the late night phone calls, pep talks, heart-to-hearts, love in the form of home-cooked meals and birthday cards, and the ever-important reminder that one med-surg grade does not define the trajectory of our lives. You have seen us through it all. Your love, sacrifice, undying support, and unwavering acceptance have cultivated the people we are today, and for that we are forever grateful. Thank you. I also want to hold space for the people who, for whatever reason, are not here with us today. In life, we have the privilege of crossing paths with people who will forever have an impact on our hearts. Though their presence may not be physical, I have heard it said that love lives on in the memories we've shared, the happiness we continue to experience, and the triumphs we will accomplish as life moves forward. Whatever your beliefs and intentions may be, all of which are valid and welcome, I invite us all to keep this in our hearts during this very special moment. Thank you. In addition to our family and friends, I would also like to extend thanks to the entire YSN campus, faculty, and staff. I'm not sure if you noticed as you were driving in, but you were likely greeted by a waving, smiling security officer in a bright neon green jacket. These kind people have greeted us daily as we blast our music and slam our morning coffee in preparation of a long day of classes. The spirit of welcoming we have felt here started with you all. Thank you for keeping us safe, for being our first hello of the day, and for doing us a solid and buzzing us in when we forget our IDs. There are many other people and teams who have supported our nursing school experience, both directly and indirectly. This includes the Office of Admission, the Registrar, the Financial Aid Department, the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Department, the Simulation Team, the Clinical Placement Team, the Library and Research Team, all administrative support staff, and everyone else who I have not mentioned directly. Your hard work and dedication have not gone unnoticed or unappreciated. Thank you. I also want to take a moment to recognize our members of faculty and professors. Today, we join you in the cool Hogwarts Robe Club. On one of our first days of this program, you taught us to put on sterile gloves. It had already been a long day filled with PowerPoints and countless introductions, and I remember thinking, can't this wait until tomorrow? I believe it was Phil and Sarah who stood at the front of the class and went through the process step by step. You open the packet, only 1 inch from the edge, start with your dominant hand, sterile can only touch sterile, watch your elbows, and if we messed up, we had to start over again. In hindsight, this task taught me 2 things. The first is that any new knowledge base or skill set we set out to master takes time. It takes time and repetition and resignation to the fact that it will not always be easy. In fact, sometimes even the simplest things may be exceedingly difficult at first. Like when you freak out that the midline is clogged because you can't flush it and spend 20 minutes panicking, all to realize it was clamped, and that's why you didn't get blood return. Moments like these are our best teachers. While we may fumble at first, anything we set our minds to and dedicate ourselves to is possible. The second thing this lesson reinforced, as cliche as it may sound, is that in nursing and beyond, we all make mistakes. There will always be scenarios in which we break sterility. But what's most important is what we do next, what we learn and how we correct course, even if that means starting back at square one. I want to thank our faculty and professors for providing us with lessons and examples such as these throughout our time here at YSN. We thank you for your expertise and enthusiasm, your dedication to our success as students and individuals, and your commitment to advancing the field of nursing through education and mentorship. You have guided us through difficult concepts, answered our searching questions, made yourselves available to us always, and bravely led us through the whirlwind of remote learning in the time of COVID. No one could have anticipated all that 2020 brought, from a public health crisis to personal heartache and grieving, to redefining education and accessibility. This was no small task. We thank you for being there for us in times of uncertainty and stability, and for pouring so much of yourselves into work behind the scenes. Thank you. I would also like to point out another important lesson we've learned together. As nurses and healthcare providers, one of our greatest strengths is our humility and our ability to recognize where and how we can be better. It would be amiss to not acknowledge that there have been collective actions and lack thereof that have caused hurt in our community and are inconsistent with the ideals of anti-racism, equity, and inclusivity we uphold at our core. I say this not to point the finger of blame. Rather, I voice it as an ever-important reminder that self-reflection, mindful listening, and informed action and discourse are critical aspects of meaningful change. This is perhaps the greatest lesson I've learned from you all here today, that tenacity fueled by unapologetic empathy is a force to be reckoned with. I hope we all carry this with us as we forge ahead, because I think the world needs more of this. Lastly, I would like to turn my attention to you all, my classmates and friends. I will keep this brief because I could talk for hours. Being a part of this cohort has been one of the greatest joys of my life. One of my dear friends said it best. How often do you walk into a room of 100 people and automatically click with everyone? And even if that connection wasn't automatic, I'm sure there are countless ways in which we've all found common ground. There are undoubtedly memories and experiences that have forever bonded us as a class. There are a few obvious ones. 2 words, Linda Honan. Sitting in our med-surg lectures, furiously writing notes, watching Linda pace across the room, constantly misplacing her coffee and poking fun at Tim. These are some of my fondest memories, ones that will always remind me of here and now. Other notable experiences that defined what it means to be a Geppin, a word we all know too well, include Lisa's feverishly paced NASCAR sessions, food trucks before anatomy lab, sluggishly making our way to week in review, seeing everyone in their blue scrubs for clinical rotations, running into friendly faces at the business school, the infuriating entity that is Tina Jones. And for those of you that were there, the Valentine's Day party at Toad's Place, our last celebration before the Great Pause, that was one of the best nights of my life. That was really fun. When I think of these things, a smile comes to my face. Never before have I been a part of a group I admire so deeply and enjoy so freely. I feel proud to be among you all today. You taught me to speak up, to be inquisitive, to wear whatever pair of clogs my heart desires, and most importantly, to never be afraid to come exactly as I am. We are all enough. I want to thank you all for all of the love and kindness and dedication you've poured into the world in hopes of making it a better, brighter, more hopeful place. I have no doubt that everyone in this room will be successful and impactful in what they do, and that the world will unfold in wondrous ways for us all. I wish you all the absolute best and hope our paths continue to cross as we all embark on our prospective journeys. So to that end, I say congratulations to us, the graduating class of 2022. In the words of the great Elle Woods, we did it. I hope we all take a moment amidst today's celebrations to reflect on the hard work we've put in, how much we've overcome, and how far we've yet to go. This journey is not over, just beginning. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel, and thank you also for reminding us of the power of gratitude. As Rachel and Elle said it, you did it, today's your day. Each year at commencement, the students honor an outstanding faculty member by presenting them with the award named for Annie Goodrich, the school's founder and the first female dean at Yale. This year, the Annie Goodrich Award for Excellence in Teaching will be presented by Rachel Romero.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Annie Goodrich was an exceptional nurse leader, unwavering in her vision of graduate nursing education, with relentless compassion to provide better care for all communities. We honor her legacy through the Annie Goodrich Award for Excellence in Teaching by recognizing a faculty member who carries on the tradition of exceptional nursing education, empathy, and concern for all. Each year, students nominate faculty members, highlighting their exceptional teaching, devotion to students, mentorship, professional activities, and scholarly achievements. This year's recipient exemplifies nursing excellence through her exceptional commitment to her students and her subject matter. Her students continually describe her as passionate about exploring the best way to convey complex material, and passionate about making her teaching space as inclusive as possible for every student. The nominations for this year's winner remarked that her instruction style is only outmatched by her passion and knowledge in the field. Her ability to present complex material in a way that follows current evidence-based teaching techniques, and her strive and drive to further promote the transfer of knowledge in her students is by far unmatched. She embodies the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion in every aspect of her teaching, and is receptive to feedback and frequently checking the pulse of the class to address concerns. She has the respect and trust of her students, in addition to being humble, kind, and fair. This year, we are proud to present the 2022 Annie Goodrich Award for Excellence in Teaching to the amazing educator and mentor, Sharon McKay.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Oh. Thank you, Rachel, and congratulations, Dr. McKay. The Charles King Jr. Memorial Scholars Aid Prize is given annually at commencement to the graduating student who is deemed one of the leading graduating students, who has demonstrated outstanding performance in scholarship, research, and clinical practice, and who, through accomplishments in and leadership of all aspects of study, inspires others. The class of 2022 recipient has a passion for advancing equitable care for marginalized LGBTQIA positive populations and reproductive rights, and she has worked tirelessly in service of those missions. She participated in the Gender, Sexuality, and Health Justice Concentration and assumed the leadership role of Director of the Reproductive Health Department of the Haven Free Clinic at a critical time. She created processes, protocols, and templates that ultimately optimize patient care for everyone. This student transformed the clinical care being provided in the Reproductive Health Department to guideline-based, inclusive care for the under-resourced populations of New Haven. She expanded the types of care provided within the department and increased the number of volunteering clinicians with expertise in reproductive and sexual health. It is my pleasure to present the Charles King Jr. Memorial Scholars Aid Prize to Emily Brown. The Milton and Ann Sidney Prize is given annually at commencement to the graduating student who, in the judgment of the faculty, best exemplifies the school's commitment to clinical research and its mission to contribute to better health for all people. The recipient of the prize must demonstrate creative clinical scholarship in the conceptualization of the problem under study, methodological and analytical competence, and excellence in writing. Above all, the study must be one that will make a difference in the delivery of nursing care for the recipients of that care. This year's recipient addressed the absence of a consistent approach to guide care and communications for addressing climate change with patients in the primary care clinic setting, making it challenging for early detection of renal disease and health care support of patients with climate health risks. Her project, Climate Change and Renal Health, the development and evaluation of a toolkit of healthcare professionals, developed and implemented an evidence-based climate change and renal health toolkit as a knowledge translation strategy for facilitating practice change among healthcare professionals and optimizing renal health. The focus is especially on vulnerable patient populations with socioeconomic disparities, including migrants, outdoor and manual workers, and unsheltered homeless populations. The toolkit was piloted at 2 primary care clinics at the VA in Central Texas and is slated to be scaled across the VA system nationally. The online toolkit is now available free of cost as a public health process improvement strategy to change healthcare professionals' behavior and to leverage current knowledge and best practices to the betterment of patient care and outcomes. I am honored to award the Milton and Ann Sidney Prize to Dr. Christy Torres. So, Dr. Torres could not be with us here today, but we celebrate her accomplishment. YSN has a stated commitment to recognizing, acknowledging, and combating structural racism to tap into our foundational ethos, the responsibility to engage in intersectional education, practice, and scholarship that addresses the clinical, socioeconomic, and environmental issues plaguing the health of people and the planet. Many people have helped with this work, and last year I announced a new award that will be given annually to a person in the YSN community who embodies this ethos and shows an unwavering commitment to help YSN address diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. The Heather Dawn Reynolds Equity Award was named for the inaugural recipient, Heather Reynolds. This year's recipient is an inspiring role model and champion for diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging at YSN and the broader university community. He has provided myriad opportunities for compassionate and evidence-based learning for both students and faculty in the realm of LGBTQIA positive health and helps make LGBTQ students feel safe, heard, and appreciated at YSN. In the last year, he has revamped the Gender and Sexuality Health Justice concentration, consulted extensively with YSN faculty, contributed nationally representing APRN expertise, including for clinical guidelines and key texts. He generously and expertly shares his wealth of knowledge of harm reduction practices, racial equity, and LGBTQ care. And his LGBTQ care toolkit assignment is one that will be accessible to students for years after they leave YSN, fully embracing YSN's goal of creating and supporting lifelong learners in our profession. It is my great pleasure to award the 2022 Heather Dawn Reynolds Equity Award to Nathan Levitt. We would also like to salute a student who was recognized in earlier festivities by the Afro-American Cultural Center, more familiarly known as the House. The House's most prestigious award is given to one graduating graduate and professional school student who exemplifies the values of scholarship, leadership, service, and advocacy, who has demonstrated persistence and commitment to excellence, and who will leave a lasting legacy on the House and Yale communities upon graduation. Please come up and be recognized, Chantrice King. Sorry. So she's not able to be with us, but we have a bouquet for her. All right, now we're at that point in the program you've all been waiting for. Your specialty and program directors will honor each graduate in a moment. All graduates will be presented with their diplomas and a nursing pin. This is a long-standing tradition at Yale School of Nursing, and we're proud to present each degree recipient with a school pin as you now officially join the alumni family of Yale nurses. The tradition of the nursing pin began in the late 1800s when Florence Nightingale honored some of the graduates of her nursing school by giving them a medal. The evolution of this honorary medal has become the nursing pin, a traditional gift given by many nursing schools around the world to honor their graduates. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Laura Andrews, Director of the Adult Gero Acute Care Nurse Practitioner Specialty, who will introduce the candidates for the Master of Science in Nursing degree in that specialty. So when your specialty director reads your name, you're going to come up to the stage. I'll hand you your diploma, and Executive Deputy Dean Dr. Carmen Portillo will present you with your pin.
You ready? Okay. It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the Adult Gerontology Acute Care Nurse Practitioner Specialty. Christopher Sean Bernardino. Oh, turn, get your picture. Ivan Mata Big Lang Awa. Patrick D. Flynn. Kelsey Joy Jug. Joseph N. McKenzie. Marianne Montano. Shalisa Panson. Delia Pina Solazano. Abby Pringle. Michaela Arlene Sanchez. Nicholas Andrew Smith. You're welcome. Charlotte Anna Sperling. Vivian Thega Wanjoey. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Amy Marshall, Director of the Adult Gerontology Primary Care Nurse Practitioner Specialty, who will introduce the candidates of the Masters of Science of Nursing degree in that specialty.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the Adult Gerontology Primary Care Nurse Practitioner Specialty.
Over there.
Come on around. Kirsten Dooley. Naomi Miriam Freed. Hannah Alina Janis. Katerina Gaziano Kraus. Timothy Sullivan McGee. Hannah Nicole Moore. Elizabeth Ann Rond. Valerie Williams Rosadini. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Nicole Colleen, Director of the Family Nurse Practitioner Specialty, who will introduce the candidates for the Master of Science in Nursing degree in that specialty.
Candidates for the Family Nurse Practitioner Specialty: Jennifer Arujo. Claude Louvière Bonnet. Emily Brown. Michael Chang. Nicholas William Davies. Patricia Ann Dowley. Zoe Rebecca Feinstein. Victor Manuel Martinez Garcia. Anisha Gill. Cecilia Hackerson. Cecilia. Yeah. You're in a rush. Kieran Matthew Jones. Emma Bell Cohen Cravette. Clara Kai Loninger. Andrea Lewis. Kimberly Lipes. Jacqueline Wang Lai. Jessica Kate Malsky. Madeline McCadden. Cameron McCarty. Miriam Lee Villa Paclaban. Saijal Alka Patel. Alyssa Jordan Reamer. Rachel Ann Romero. Kirsten Elizabeth R. Scherer. Ashley Shaver. Marcus L. Shepard. Christina Nell Stanton. Thank you. Christopher Vargas. Alice Ann Winnock. Carol D. Yam. This year, we also have a candidate for postgraduate APRN certificate in the Family Nurse Practitioner specialty. We would like to congratulate Nicole Kwan Schachman. She could not be here today. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Joan Kombelik and Dr. Michelle Telfer, co-directors of the Nurse Midwifery Specialty, who will introduce the candidates for the Master of Science in Nursing degree in that specialty.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the Nurse Midwifery Specialty. Hannah Barty Bukowski. Margaret Mary Hopkins. Catherine Mairead Mulholland. Quinn Lou O'Leary. Alexandra Priscilla Silverman. And Amy Rochelle Smith. She needs to take a picture. Just stand. Here we go.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the Nurse Midwifery and Women's Health Nurse Practitioner specialty, the dual degree students. Tess Alexandra Brickley. Valerie Enid Garcia. Congratulations. Genevieve Marie Lipari Giffen. Allison May Ibsen. Eden Naomi Katz. Chantrice Naomi King, who couldn't be with us today. Sarah Ann Lovell. Charlotte Marion Maxwell. Molly Carolyn McShane. Lena Lilia Minnenberg. Anastasia Smith. Lily Danielle Stoner. Skylar Blaze Van Steenberg. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Tamika Julian, Director of the Women's Health Nurse Practitioner Specialty, who will introduce the candidates for the Master of Science in Nursing degree in that specialty.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the Women's Health Nurse Practitioner Specialty. Eleanor Lubiano, who's not here with us today. Seema Lauren Mauser. Shalisa Kita Neal, who's also not with us today. It is my pleasure to now introduce Dr. Allison Morarty Daly, Director of the Pediatric Nurse Practitioner Specialty, who will introduce the candidates for the Master of Science in Nursing degree in that specialty.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the Pediatric Nurse Practitioner Specialty. Bernadette Cameron. Kylie Shane Carbone. Megan Patricia Casey. Cynthia M. Chumpitaz. Elizabeth Ann Farmer. Sloan Marquette Fisher. Hee-Jun Choi Lee. Dana Joy Z.N. Liu. Janice Liu. Sarah Ruth Martin. Cassidy Jacqueline McCarnes. Amanda Friedman Mummery. Lindsay Marie Puinski. Elizabeth Alana Pumilia. Michaela Russell, escorted by Sawyer. Rachel Lynn Sanacora. Jennifer Lynn Schwartz. Orly Eliana Siegel. And last but not least, Maya Jessie Zemont. Congratulations. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Andre DeLisser, Director of the Psychiatric Mental Health Nurse Practitioner Specialty, who will introduce the candidates for the Master of Science in Nursing degree in that specialty.
It is my great honor and pleasure to present the candidates for the Psychiatric Mental Health Nurse Practitioner Specialty. Tess McKay Anderson. Carol Josephine Bemoris. Emma Shoshana Brown. Chelsea R. Cotton. Etta Eckerstrom. Kristen Donna Fuller. Kayla Mae Green. Catherine Marie Hardigan. Clement Headley Hill. Jonathan Z. Hochstein. Sarah Mahareen Khalid. Karina S. Kerwin. Leah Marie Mataccio. Catherine Jane Melton. Olivia Helen Romansky. Emily Ann Sherry. Christina Geist Stoller. Sophia Marika Tolofsson. Helen Marie Watson. Jacqueline Elizabeth Welch. And Sarah Marie Zuba. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Joanne Yanako, Director of the Clinical Doctor of Nursing Practice Program, who will introduce the candidates for the Clinical Doctor of Nursing Practice degree.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the first class of the Clinical Doctor of Nursing Practice Program. Mary Ann Lombardi Sear. Dr. Samantha M. Corby. Dr. Wendy Lord Mackey. Dr. Gia Santoro. Dr. Carissa Ann Tufano. Dr. Krista Lynn Varnado. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Marianne Camilleri, Director of the Healthcare Leadership, Systems, and Policy Doctor of Nursing Practice Program, who will introduce the candidates for the Leadership Doctor of Nursing Practice degree.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the Healthcare Leadership Doctor of Nursing Practice degree. Dr. Elizabeth Maureen Clark. Dr. Paula Holmes Constantine. Dr. James Thomas DeMarco. Dr. Mary Ellen Kosterko. Dr. Rex Daniel Demetria Lamboy. Dr. Thaina R. Lopez Cartagena. Dr. Carly Maraza Martinez. Dr. Manvir Nijar. Not here. Dr. Bonnie Summers Olson. Dr. Samantha Ramirez. Dr. Jennifer Lauren Cease. Christy Torres. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Lois Sadler and Dr. Tish Knob, co-directors of the PhD program, who will introduce the candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree and recognize their accomplishments.
There's only one of us here. Dr. Sadler is at the graduate school ceremony in Woolsey Hall, but it's my pleasure to recognize our two PhD students, Stephen Brazale. Dr. Brazale is currently a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Pittsburgh, and as we speak, Shu-Yang Wang, who is currently getting her diploma, completing her PhD requirements in Woolsey Hall at the graduate school, and she will be enrolling in a postdoctoral fellowship at NYU in September. Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Alyssa Noche, YSN Alumni Association President-elect.
Good afternoon. It is my great pleasure to be here today to celebrate the Yale School of Nursing class of 2022. I would like to personally congratulate you all on behalf of the YSN Alumni Association and the broader Yale Alumni Association. I am so glad we were able to come together today and take the opportunity to applaud this group of promising new nurse practitioners and midwives. Over the past several years, you have not only navigated the challenging world of graduate nursing education, but you did so under the most strenuous of circumstances. The past 2 years have taught us all many lessons about growth, compassion, and connection. But most importantly, they have taught us about the courage and resilience of healthcare workers. If there is ever a group that understands courage and resilience, it is the graduates we are here to celebrate today. You have spent most of your nursing education behind masks, adapting to virtual classrooms, and forging connections to a field that has been particularly challenging throughout the course of the pandemic. However, it never stopped any of you from suiting up in scrubs and surgical masks and truly living your dedication to your education and the community. Despite the many challenges the COVID-19 pandemic brought upon those of us in the medical field, it has also presented nurse practitioners with the well-deserved chance to shine. Over the past 2 years, nurse practitioners demonstrated an endless devotion to overcoming health inequity by fighting for increased access to health care for vulnerable populations, reaching those who are underserved, and providing culturally competent care to all. Prior to 2020, only half the United States offered us full practice authority, but now more states across the nation have recognized the phenomenal role that NPs serve and have widened the scope of our licenses, enabling us to care for those most in need. Your time at YSN has served as a crossroads, where you've had the opportunity to gather a plethora of memories. Some may make you laugh, while others may make you want to cry. You may want to forget about the long nights of studying or the stress of presenting a complicated patient to your preceptor, but I hope you never forget those character-defining moments that have helped shape your outlook of the healthcare field and drive your passion for advanced practice nursing and midwifery. I remember my own days at YSN with a fondness that has carried me through my professional career. It feels like just yesterday I was sitting in my own seat at graduation, anxiously wondering how I would ever survive the real world, care for sick patients without the safety net of a preceptor, or figure things out without the valuable guidance from faculty. Now I look back at my transition to professional practice with a sense of accomplishment and pride, from the satisfaction of entering that very first prescription into Epic under my own name, to truly understanding how much of a privilege it is to care for patients. For the record, it was Colace. It wasn't very exciting. Nurse practitioners and midwives are in a prime position to improve care across the spectrum of the healthcare field, and that will continue to expand in the years to come. The demand for high-quality healthcare will only continue to grow, and it is my honor to stand beside all of you today, knowing we represent this amazing profession that is so near and dear to our hearts. As you scatter across the country and around the world and strive to reach your own career aspirations, I'm confident you will all leave YSN and change the world of medicine for the better. Being a part of the YSN alumni community brings you to a place where you can share ideas that will foster your professional development and create a network that will enable you to reach your full potential as a provider. As you celebrate this momentous occasion today, I encourage you to reflect on your experiences with nursing and midwifery and the impact this important day will have on your life. Consider the moment you decided to pursue this career and how that decision brought you here today. For me, I can still remember the day when I was in the middle of the dialysis unit in downtown New Haven, when I realized I had to advance my own education and career if I truly wanted to make a difference in overcoming the health inequity my patients faced daily. Now, nearly 10 years later, I look back on my time at YSN as a student and alumna, and I'm so incredibly happy with my path and can't imagine doing anything else. We may all have a different journey, but as alumni of YSN, we are now all part of a community that is unified by our mutual love for nursing, humanity, and the world. To conclude, I would like to once more welcome you to the YSN Alumni Association and encourage you to consider your own reasons why you chose this life in service, why you chose to be an advanced practice nurse or midwife, and what keeps you engaged in this wonderful field. With that, I would like to share the goal of the Alumni Association I am so honored to welcome you into today, to promote the professional standards and fellowship among graduates of the school so that together we can achieve our ultimate mission of better health for all people. It is truly a pleasure to be here with you all today to celebrate all you have accomplished over the past several years and to welcome you into the network of remarkable YSN alumni. I look forward to celebrating with you further. Congratulations.
So thank you to all the specialty and program directors and Alyssa, that was great. Okay, so in a few moments, we're going to conclude our ceremony, but before we do, I want to make a brief logistical announcement. Our graduates and faculty will process out of the tent first, guided by our YSN staff ushers. I'd like to ask our guests to please wait until the graduates have departed, and the ushers will then invite you all to reception, which is going to be across the street to continue the celebration. And now I invite the class of 2022 to thank their families, friends, and significant others who helped them reach this important milestone today. So class of 2022, stay risen. This is your moment. You've overcome every hurdle. You've gracefully embraced challenges. Class, stay up. Mastered an extraordinary set of skills, and we are ready to send you off. This concludes the formal portion of the Yale School of Nursing's 2022 commencement ceremony. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of the YSN community. Enjoy this special day. Congratulations.